Everyone who follows my channel knows that I use original Japanese terms for Digimon and their evolution forms. I write this fact in every video description and sometimes even in video titles, so that fans don't get confused. Yet there are a lot of people who do get confused either way. This is because they watched the dub version of the anime first, and it is hard for them to understand what I'm referring to when I'm not using the terms that they are used to. So I decided to make this video to answer your frequently asked questions and clarify my choice, but also provide some useful information and statistics. Of course, you are welcome to share your own opinion on this matter in the comments below. A comment I get frequently is that I shouldn't use Japanese terms if my videos are in English. English has become the universal international language long ago, so the fact that someone speaks in English on YouTube doesn't mean that they are targeting the US or UK markets alone, but rather the whole world. Also, not every country that broadcasts Digimon uses the dub names. In fact, many countries use subtitles and original names, and this is not just relevant to Digimon. In my region, movies and TV shows are only dubbed if they are made for young children who can't read. Even for those movies made for children, cinemas offer the option to watch the version with subtitles. Both of these versions retain the original names of the characters, unless they are hard for children to understand or pronounce. While my opinion on this matter might be prejudiced by the environment I grew up in, I completely agree with this approach. If you are from England and your name is John, that is your name, and it should be wherever you go in the world. So if you go to Mexico, you will still be John, not Juan. Another problem I have with dubbing is that it isolates you in your one language bubble and prevents you from learning new languages. This is why in my country, children learn to speak English by the age of 6 just from watching cartoons. Later, as they explore other foreign movies and TV shows, they become fluent in at least 3 languages by the time they graduate from high school. How many languages do you speak? According to the US Census Bureau, only 20% of Americans can converse in 2 or more languages, compared with 56% of Europeans. Here is a breakdown of how many countries dub movies and TV shows and how many use subtitles instead. Earlier in the video, I said that if your name is John, it should be John in every language. While some people who are not native English speakers might have difficulties pronouncing your English name, however they pronounce it, it will still be more true to the original than any translation. This is something the Digimon creators had in mind when making the anime. For example, Tailmon's name is made up from the English word tail, which symbolizes a cat, and mon, which stands for monster. The Japanese word for cat is neko, so this Digimon would be called Nekomon, but it isn't. Here's why. In creating the Digimon names and even evolution stages, the anime studio had the broad picture in mind, in case the brand became popular worldwide as it did. That is why most Digimon names are based on English or Latin instead of Japanese, because they are targeted to the worldwide audience and easier to pronounce and remember. Now let's analyze Tailmon's dub name, which is Gatomon. The word gato means cat in Italian and Spanish, which is something you can only know if you speak these 2 languages. So changing the word from tail to gato seems counterproductive, since more people are likely to know what tail means compared to gato. Another comment I get frequently is people correcting me for calling a Digimon's form Ultimate instead of Mega. The original Japanese terms for evolution stages are Child, Adult, Perfect and Ultimate. The dubbed versions are Rookie, Champion, Ultimate and Mega. First of all, the original names suggest that Digimon are living beings that evolve not only physically but also emotionally. The dub versions sound like their only purpose is to fight, so they represent their training stages. Another problem I have with dub versions is that there is a stage after Ultimate, which is a word that means something that is final. Mega simply means big, so to have Mega after Ultimate sounds like the evolution went downhill. Another reason why dub names are inferior to the originals for me is that they fail to retain the meaning behind the Digimon's name. Some of the examples include Omegamon to Omnimon, Piomon to Biomon, or Slapemon to Kintorasmon. Let's analyze a few of them. For those who don't know, Omega is the last letter of the Greek alphabet, meaning the end. Omni is a Latin word that means all. Some fans prefer the name Omnimon because it means that this Digimon fights for everyone, but the problem here is that replacing the word Omega erases the backstory behind this Digimon. Alphamon and Omegamon are members of the Royal Knights, so they are the Alpha and the Omega from the Book of Revelations. Sleipmon was also changed to Kentorasmon. Sleipmon is based on Sleipnir, who in Norse mythology is an 8-legged horse ridden by King Odin. Sleipmon's official profile states that even though the other royal knights have humanoid figures, Sleipmon has a bestial one. Centaurs are creatures from Greek mythology with the upper body of a human and the lower body and 4 legs of a horse, but Sleipmon doesn't have human upper body nor 4 legs, so he's not a centaur. There are also some weird changes with questionable need for change, like Piomon to Biomon, where only the first letter of the name is changed. If Pio is based on the sound that birds make, what exactly is Bio? There are also examples where dub writers used original terms to represent something else. This is how the crest of purity became sincerity, and sincerity became reliability. In conclusion, I think the original version of anything will always remain original, while translations can come and go and can be revised like in books. But I also think that Digimon have a universal message that breaks through all language and cultural barriers, and that is love, friendship and loyalty. So, whatever version you saw first or choose to stick with, it did its job in bringing you to the worldwide community of Digimon fans. We might all speak different languages, but Digimon is the thread that brings us all together. I hope you liked this video and maybe even learned something new. Tell me in the comments below, was your first experience of Digimon with subtitles or dubbed, but also feel free to share your memories on how Digimon impacted you when you first saw it and why you are still a fan. Stay tuned for more Digimon videos. If you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon. The link is in the description below. Make sure to follow my community page on YouTube, as I also post updates about upcoming videos there.